Okay, should be recording now.
Awesome.
All right. So you released Amethyst about a year ago, almost, or a little over a year ago. Like, first of all, like, I know that from what I've been reading about, like, with your interviews and like articles written, I know you're really big on mental health and addiction, sobriety. Like with the song "Delusional," that one hit hard because, like, definitely know what it's like to fight to be sober and to stay sober. Definitely know how that goes.
It's hard.
How do you? Yeah, it is, like, even after like months and months of not having anything, it still can be hard.
It can.
My question is, like, how do you connect to the song "Delusional" and how does it help you get through like some of those hard days?
All right. So I got sober a really long time ago. So I have been practicing like certain things I do every day on a daily basis. And a lot of those lyrics I was drawing from, like, I want to say my first 5 to 10 years of sobriety. And so a lot of what I do on a daily basis is, like, I get up every morning and I ask for the strength to stay sober. I write a gratitude list of 10 things I'm grateful for, no matter how I'm feeling, and why I'm grateful for them. So around 10 years of sobriety, somebody put me to the challenge and they said, hey, why don't you write down why you're grateful? And that made me really sit in the gratitude a little bit longer, because I had to focus about why I was grateful for that thing. And I have studied and done a lot of internal work on myself, whereas, like, whenever I'm pointing one finger out, I've got 3 fingers pointing back. So whenever there is a disturbance outside, there is something disturbed within me.
It's kind of coming out again.
What?
It's cutting out really bad.
Oh no. Okay. Do you want me to start over? Let me see. Let me move over here. I'm gonna see how many bars I have.
Okay, now I can hear you, but I don't know if it's, let's see, I'm on Wi-Fi, but I wonder if
let me go outside. Let me see if I get better service if I move, because I'm upstairs. So it could just be where I am. So stand by as I move. Is it getting better or worse?
Well, I hear you at least.
But do you have no video?
I can kind of.
We're having bad Wi-Fi issues. Let me turn off the Wi-Fi and see if that makes it better.
Okay.
All right. So I turned off the Wi-Fi. Is it worse or better?
Well, I can hear you.
But you can't see me.
Okay. I can see you. It's a little better. Okay.
It's hard. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, and I can
Is
see
it
you
still
too.
Cutting in and out?
No, it's
okay. Good.
It's a lot better.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Oh, here comes my other special needs child. Here, hold on. You got to see her walk. Come here, Fluffy.
Aw.
Fluffy. Good girl. I'm sorry. Like I said, this is. So she has a deformed spinal cord.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah, she has a deformed spinal cord, but she's extra special and she's the baby. She's the complete baby. But anyway, sorry, I have to show you her because now that I know you love dogs. But so I do a lot of stuff. I don't know, how much of that question did you get? A lot or a little?
I didn't really hear much of it at all.
It's okay. I can start over.
Okay.
So for me, with sobriety, I do some things every day. Like I write a gratitude list of 10 things I'm grateful for, and then about why I'm grateful for them, to try to keep my mind, focused on a gratitude thing. And that was something that early on in my sobriety, one of my mentors like really pointed out that, I needed to get out of self, and think of others and find things to be grateful for. So I put my focus on that, and just trying to, one of the things she said to me was try not to cause any harm. And that was a big, like, one of the epiphany things for me was trying not to cause any harm. And then, the lyrics to Delusional were, like the driven by 1,000 forms of fear, which is a direct quote from a book. It's driven by 1,000 forms of fear. It's actually driven by 100 forms of fear. We step on the toes of our fellows and they retaliate. So it's kind of bringing that awareness back to myself of where maybe I'm not always causing the problem, because, you can always go too far down that end, but, just making sure that I do my own self-evaluation of what is my part in the situation that is uncomfortable. And then kind of taking the actions to move away from that, and then to try to change the behavior. Do you know what I mean? Like, instead of always going in the same thing, it's just to try to change the behavior and moving forward. And that kind of, that practice of out of self, doing the gratitude list, and then taking the steps and like looking at myself all the time, making sure that I'm staying on the right path and trying not to cause harm. All those things together, which is a lot of work, help me keep my mind right. And then always, whenever I'm talking to anybody, especially if they're working my nerves, is like, how may I be helpful in this situation? Like, why am I here? How can I be helpful? How can I be patient? How can I offer this person some compassion? That was long.
No, it makes sense. Like, another question about sobriety, because it sounds like you've been sober for 15 years or
20.
Is that 20?
Over 20, yeah.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Like,
thanks.
So, what are some of the most like important lessons that you feel you have learned, and like how has that affected the way that you write music as well?
The honesty in the lyrics. So the lessons for me was a lot of it is being true to myself. And when we're writing songs, to make sure, she's trying to kiss me, when we're writing songs, to make sure that I am being true to myself and I am speaking what I believe and what I feel is healing. So part of me gets really conflicted with a lot of my art, because sometimes it's really frustrating and angry, and it's not going with my core beliefs of like, if you see somebody without a smile, give them yours. So it kind of is in direct conflict of that, but it's also healing, because I feel like everybody should know that everyone struggles. And it's just trying to put that out there. So trying to take that piece of the art, the insanity of, some of the things that I think, you know what I mean? Because I'm very insecure, and I still struggle with so many things, and I just have to kind of like always pick myself up and set myself straight, and then just keep on moving forward. And then just trying to share those experiences with others through the music, especially, Delusional is my baby, right? That's like my baby, where it's like, I try to make sure, and usually almost at every show, someone come up to me and be like, wow, I get it. Like, I totally get it. Or somebody will be, teetering on sobriety, all that have been sober for a while. And then they really feel the lyrics of the song, because the lessons I learned, trying to get sober and through my sobriety, I only learn when I fall down. I don't learn any other way. And that's, it is what it is, but that's how I learn. I learn when I fall down, and then I get back up and I try to pick it up. I try to pick up the pieces and keep moving forward.
Yeah, that is kind of the best way to learn, because so many people can tell you like how you can, get sober, but until you actually hit rock bottom, yeah.
Yep. And it's, and I had to do the things I didn't want to do. You know what I mean? I had to do the things I didn't want to do, and go places that I didn't want to go, and show up early when I didn't want to show up early, because I was always late. you know,
Yeah.
doing that kind of stuff that was like not fun at all. But then being the extrovert I am, or I became, I began to really enjoy that.
Yeah. You know, like when you're in that, I guess you like, I call it like a haze, like when you're first starting to come out of it, out of the addiction to, whatever it is, whether it be alcohol or like painkillers, drugs, whatever. Like when you're coming out of that haze, it can be like, God, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, it's a real heavy feeling. And like, it seems like comments get to you even worse than they would if you were in your right mind. But there's a powerful feeling though, like when you can break through of all of that, and like you kind of get to a sense of freedom, like when you were overcoming it and like conquering it and everything. What did that feel like for you, and like how does it affect you now to this day?
So I had a lot of fear. So those words, like the driven by 1,000 forms of fear, I was so afraid I was going to drink again that I would do whatever they told me. You know what I mean? My rock bottom was so low that I was like, I can't, because I lost everything about who I was. And I just didn't want to go back there. So I was willing to do so many different things and to try to just keep moving it forward, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I think I answered the question. I don't know. I get lost.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, thank you for being so open about this subject, because it's not an easy one to talk about, that's for sure.
No, but you know what? Getting through those moments of pain, do you know what I mean? Like where you really want to crawl out of your own skin because you're so uncomfortable. Yeah. Those are the ones where it was hard for me in the beginning, especially. And that's where being so involved with other people in the recovery community, that's where it really helped me, because I would always be forced to be somewhere where I was around people. So then I would have to tell them about it. Do you know what I mean? Because they'd be like, how are you? And I'd be like, do you really want to know the answer to this question? Because I'm crazy right now. And then sometimes you are alone. I don't know why she's barking right now. And then sometimes you do wind up alone. And then you have to just kind of deal with the demons as they are, and just kind of, I mean, for me, it was really hard. It was really hard to try to refocus and to try to stop thinking. So sometimes I would just write it all out. And I actually have songs. So F-I-N-E, the song F-I-N-E, I wrote when I first got sober. Like the words to that. Yeah. The words to that song were 20 years old. And, I think someone delusional might be. I gotta see what she's barking at. Sorry. She's barking at nothing. Sorry, I had to check on her. Fluffy. Sorry. I'm probably gonna have to go in there and sit on the floor with her.
Oh,
that's what I do.
I wish I would have taken Morrison outside with me.
Aw. We'll have to do it again. We'll have to just chat again.
Yes. Yeah. I want, did it freeze up or?
I'm gonna sit with her. I'm gonna sit on the floor and sit with her just so that she can be happy.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, sweet babies.
She's very jealous of anime.
Oh.
All right. Okay.
All right. Well, let's get into some more about Amethyst.
Okay.
So I'm looking at that album cover right now, and it's kind of like mythical in a way. Like how do you, first of all, how do you feel like it encapsulates the entire album as a whole and symbolizes it, I guess?
So what's funny about the art that I chose is because so Magg were named after Mary Magdalene and the Outsiders, right? Matt Dillon, because, Mary Magdalene was an outsider, and, it's just not, I'm the only girl, and then there's three guys, right? So
Yeah.
I felt like when I saw that picture, because I've always felt like an outsider, and I've always felt like I'm being burned at the stake for my opinions or my attitude or whatever my beliefs are, because I'm a little out there. So when I saw that photo of the girl being burned, it looked like to me like the witch being burned at the stake, and there were 4 people around it. It was perfect, because at that point we had 5 people in the band. There were 4 guys and me. So when I saw that photo, I just couldn't believe how perfect it was. I was like, oh my God, this is it. Not realizing that picture was like super, super like a heavy metal, like the melodic metal, which we weren't really so much yet, because Amethyst is more poppy punk and more like hard rock, and the hard rock sound more so than what we've done, what we've evolved into. So, but that's why I love that art. I still to this day, I love that artwork.
Yeah, it's really cool. It reminds me, it's very like fantasy like too.
Yep. And then I had also just been up to Salem. So I know Bobby just opened that Black Craft store up there, and I had been to Salem like the year before, and I was up in Salem because my friend lives up in Massachusetts. And I'm obsessed with Salem. So again, when I saw that picture, I was like, okay, this is the answer to the question. There is going to be no other album cover besides this.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool one. What would you say are some songs on the album that have some of the most powerful messages within the lyrics for you?
Oh, obviously Delusional, of course. Rare Breed, which Rare Breed is such a different style song. But if you listen to the words of that song, it's really about trying to find your inner badass. You know what I mean? And even in the imperfections. And the same thing with, and then Naked Alone in the Tub. So if I had to pick 3, those are 3 of the, for me personally, my lyrically, and then of course FINE, because I wrote that when I was just getting sober. I think I was like within 30 days of sobriety. And then Tears, because that's like a true story when I was going through my second divorce and I was driving over a bridge. I don't know if you've listened to the whole album, but I was driving over the Lesnar Bridge here in Virginia, and my mom looked at me and she was like crying. She's like, how long are you going to be this unhappy? How long are you going to do this? And like, when your mom starts like begging you for, to like stop killing yourself or something, I was like, oh, I really got to get out of this. This is bad. So that was like the beginning of the end.
Okay. What song did you write that like how would you how do I word this? Like, is there a song on the album that you wrote that made you feel the most free, like after you put down that pen and you were just like, and just like felt you were done with the best therapy session ever, I guess?
That's hard because honestly, it might be the first song we wrote, which is I Stood Up. So that's the first song me and Bruce wrote together. And that was the one that he was like, well, what'd you do after that? Well, what'd you do after that? And I was like, I stood up. And at that moment, after we wrote that song, I was like, oh, this marriage is like, has actually freed me from so much of my own restrictions, you know, and then getting divorced and then writing that song was and that was the beginning. So that was the gateway to the rest of the album. So I would say I stood up, which is weird because we never play it. It wasn't a single. We don't push it a lot. It's not one of those songs, but it is. And I think I have on Spotify on I Stood Up, I think for the canvas, I have a butterfly coming out of cocoon because I raise butterflies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
I know.
so cool.
I have way too much stuff going on all the time, but you know.
That's awesome. And you released a new music video for Warning a few weeks ago now. It's awesome, by the way. How do you feel
Thank
that
you.
you
I
connect?
love doing that.
How do you feel that you connect to the video, and how does the music video really capture the message and the meaning behind the song?
Okay. So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
This is like, I want to know what your interpretation of what the lyrics of that song are about. What do you feel when like you listen to it?
Like, I kind of feel like when you're agitated and somebody's like pressing you over and over and over, and you're just like just in that kind of, I don't know how to explain but like kind of giving, like basically trying to tell somebody to cool it, but without, like, in a nice
mean.
way.
Yeah. Yes. Trying to politely say, leave me the fuck alone. No.
Yeah. Without trying to like cause any more of an escalation of something, because you know, people can be like, oh my god, with the world the way it is right now, people can take things and turn them into especially online, and it's just like, geez, people, stop.
I know, like, can we be real, please, just a little? And be nice. Let's be nice to each other. But
yeah.
So the song, the way I wrote it, and obviously it's always up to interpretation, right? Because it's art, so it's how anybody takes it. But it was really written partly about the corporate America, because I worked in corporate America for so long, and you know, so when they show you who they are, believing, and the dating world. So you know, having dated, you know, for a while in between my second and third marriage at an older age, it was really frustrating. And it was just like, oh my God, like, why are you not showing me who you really are? Like, why wouldn't you just be honest? So it's all that. And then it's the video kind of is supposed to like take you through all my moods. It's supposed to be like a fun video, a fun take on that song, which is like showing like all the different sides of me, like my corporate America side, that's why I'm in this suit, and then like the band side, and then like I'm in this Cannonball Run outfit because I used to do all these dance things. Like when I was on a Zumba team, I used to do all these like cancer benefits and stuff. We would do all these charity events. And then I used to teach group fitness. And then, you know, I've been married twice. So, you know, that's why I was in the gown at one time. And that's my best friend, James, that I got sober with. He's playing the doctor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's just supposed to be fun and like kind of like going through like my ADHD rapid moving brain and just kind of like trying to navigate through, you know, becoming who I am and being, you know, perfect in my own imperfections. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just, yeah, always long answers with me. I'm so sorry. I'm the longest winded person I know.
Oh no, there have been some musicians I've interviewed, they will go off on like 15-minute long answers. I'm going, well, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So no, I love doing interviews. So no, you're all good.
Okay, good.
But there are some some bands out there that can talk.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, oh, she has to interview me. I'm sure because she's seen some of the chaos, like when we try to all do the interview, because then there's like 4 people answering the question. And it's like, oh my God, what is happening right now?
Yeah, and then having to type out like the quotes later of who
Oh,
is.
yeah. No way.
Now that used to be a pain in the ass back in the day when I just had a recorder and didn't use video or anything, and I would have to listen to each of their voices, and if the audio was bad, yeah. We've come a long way with technology.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Do you have any plans for another single coming out soon, or
We do.
or even you do?
We do.
Is it?
We have one
this
coming out
album?
August. Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Oh, is it off of Amethyst, or is it going to be something off of a new album in the works, maybe?
Yeah, it's so what we're doing right now is just releasing a bunch of singles that we're gonna put to an album. But like, so Lost My Zen, Warning, and then we have another one coming out August 23rd called Stress. That is
Okay.
like so different for us. Yeah, it's definitely different. It's got it's very new metal. So it's very, and we just had fun with it. Like, so every time, I'll tell you the story, kind of the story, I write in rhymes because everything I write, I have 40 pages of lyrics and every single page is all rhymes because that's just the way I write. I can't help it. So a lot of the times when we're going in to do a song, I almost have to change words to try not to rhyme so much. So we went into this one, and one night I was sleeping, and I'll give you a little backstory. And I was sleeping and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I don't know if you've seen, our band has these bucket hats, and I woke up and I was like, everybody needs a little bit of fuck it in their life. And that was it. I woke up, and then Bruce woke up the next morning. I was like, I got it. Everybody. And then he just went downstairs. He started writing. And then we came up with this new song that's coming out August 23rd. I'll send you the link to it.
Okay.
So that you can kind of hear it. Cause it's really fun. It's a really, really fun song. And it's just trying to get people to not be stressed out. It's heavy, you know what I mean? It's got some screams and it's heavy, but it's also got like some rock in it, which is, I love, of course.
Yeah, it's always cool to mix genres together.
Yep.
Seeing more and more of that now. It's kind of cool to see what everybody is coming up with. That's what's so cool about Space Zebra is like the bands that are on there some of them are so diverse and so unique, and it's so cool. The platform is so awesome.
I love it. I love listening to all the bands. I love, so we got to do a show with Nailbite.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. On June 18th, we got to do a show with them. So we got to meet them before we even started in with the competitions. So that was super cool. So we got to meet them and we made friends with them. So they're very much in our corner, and they're, you know what I mean? So, and every week she's like, the chat was rough. It's going to be okay. Don't worry. Blah, blah. So they were just been super, super sweet, and they were so cool to meet. But yeah, no, I love listening to the new music. I love it. I love those shows. I really do. Like we even attend, like I'm on there today. I'm paying attention to Space Zebra today because I love Ash Costello, right? So Ash Costello's in there, so I'm totally in there.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
It is. There are a lot of good shows on there. And the Battle for the Big Stage, that's an awesome one too.
I'm so scared about that one. That's the other one. Like, so when we submitted for both the Unsigned Chart and the Battle for the Big Stage, I didn't think we got Battle for the Big Stage. So then we got the email that said, hey, you guys are going to be in there. So then we wound up in there this Sunday. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like the chat is like, even like just watching the chat, like when you're watching the stream, like Oh, you have a lot of fans in there.
I know, it's cool.
Yeah. It's such
very,
a
very
cool
cool. But
platform.
huh?
It's such a cool platform.
It is. It is so cool.
Yeah. How did you stumble upon
We feel
Space?
really lucky to be on there. I'm so glad. I'm just so grateful because we really love it.
Yeah. How did you stumble upon Space Zebra?
So we tried last year when we released our single Pawns. We tried to get in last year and then we didn't make it. Like we didn't make it the first time, so we kind of gave up. And then we got a little nudge. I think Nailbite gave us a little nudge, and then Jake, this guy we're working with, he gave us a little nudge, and then we're like, all right, we'll try again. You know what I mean? 'Cause, you know, once you get like that, you know, you get torn apart in the chat. You're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that again. That hurts.
Yeah. Well,
So.
it's nice to see some female blood in there, I guess you could say.
I agree.
It,
Like I love that one band, that Thirst band. Oh my God, I love that.
oh yeah, yeah. They're last year, Shadow the Earth. Like there's some really good bands that like submit, so it's pretty cool. It's like it's it, and it honestly doesn't even matter if like anyone wins or not, because you're exposed to so many new fans and stuff, and you connect to everyone. It really is like a family.
Yep. Look at this.
Yeah.
It is. It's super cool.
Oh, it's so sweet.
She's so crazy. She's only 11 months old, so she's still a little crazy.
Let's see. Are there any plans for another album coming out?
Yeah, I mean, we went in the studio, we recorded in Nashville back in June, and we did 3 more singles. So we have Stress coming out, and then in mid-September, we're gonna release another one. We're actually gonna release a ballad, like a really slow one. It's written about loss and losing a loved one, so it's kind of sad. But it's about you'll hear our puppy died last year. We had a 9-month-old puppy that passed away.
Aww.
And it was just horrible for us. And but then when we were recording the album, my friend's son died. Like her 12-year-old son died, which was a complete tragedy.
Oh my God.
It was I found out the day we were recording it, so I was like super, super emotional, and we changed some of the lyrics in it. And just kind of molded it so that like anybody can identify about like young life that is gone too soon, because it's just agonizing for anybody and everybody, because it's not natural. You know what I mean? Like it's just not supposed to happen. People, you know, parents aren't supposed to lose their children. They're just not. So, and my nephew overdosed at 21 years old and died. So there's just been a lot of loss. And there's too many parents I know that have lost their children. So anyway, so we wrote this really sad song, and that one's going to come out in like mid-September. So we do have an album coming out, Long Answer, of course. And then we have 2 more singles after that to come out, and then we're going to go back in the studio and record the rest of them, and then we're going to do like an EP.
Okay. Yeah, that's exciting.
It is really exciting, because we love like the new songs. We love them so much.
Awesome.
It's really good to like feel good about what you're putting out, rather than sometimes almost feeling like you're rushed and you put it out and it's like, oh, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that. Have you ever heard of our cover of You Want to Know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And the video for it's pretty cool too.
Do you know that that's actual like my friends burning their real wedding gowns?
I read something about that.
That's my friend Jen, that was only married for like 6 months, and he just really kind of dumped her. And then my friend Christy, her gown was like 20 years old and she burned it. My friend Sonia, her gown was also like 20 years old and she burned his. It was crazy.
Oh wow.
And it was just it all happened in like a week. I started messaging them. I'm like, hey, do you still have your gown by any chance? Because we're going to be shooting a video and we're going to burn some wedding dresses. Do you want to be in the video? And she's like, oh my God, I literally just pulled it out of the attic and I was going to get rid of it myself. And she was like, what? And it just came together. It was so cool.
That's quite a statement too.
Yeah.
And the cover of that song, like, you definitely put your own spin on it, because it sounds like it, but it's also different. Like, how do you feel that you connect to the song, and what made you want to cover You Ought to Know?
Jagged Little Pill changed my life. You know what I mean? That's the album for me. You know, everybody has that album that changed their life, and Jagged Little Pill changed my life. It's the one that I was early sobriety, and I listened to it over and over and over, and it just meant so much to me. Like every single song on there, I could identify with so much. And then You Ought to Know, I had been cheated on, so that one has always been like one of my favorite songs. And then Bruce figured out a way to gent it out and make it, metal. So when he figured that out, then that was it. We were like, okay, we're golden, because he's the one who did all the music arrangement, and I just kept the vocal kind of the way it was.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a really cool cover.
Thank you.
Yeah. Those are all of my questions. Do you have anything else you'd like to say or put out?
No, it was so nice meeting you.
Yeah, so nice to meet you.
Where are you from?
I'm in North Dakota. I'm in Fargo.
Oh, okay, so you're far.
Yeah, we need more music out here. We're finally starting to get some good bands coming here finally. So definitely put Fargo on your list when you're coming up with a tour.
We want to do Sturgis so bad. So maybe next year when we do Sturgis, we'll get around there.
Nice. Yeah.
We'd love
Sturgis
to.
is going on right now. I want to go so bad.
But it is beautiful there.
Yeah. Yeah. North Dakota, it's very flat, but it has like some very, very beautiful landscapes to it.
Peaceful.
Yeah, for the most part it is. And Fargo, it's a very international city, so it's so different from any other place in North Dakota, and it makes it really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, and there's actually a metal scene out here, which is nice.
That's awesome. So
yeah,
yes,
nobody
we'll
would expect that either.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have anything else.
You're out of Virginia Beach.
Yeah. I used to live in Wisconsin though. I used to live in Eau Claire.
Okay. So not too far from here. Yeah, same concept of the freezing cold winters.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm listening to her breathe.
Oh,
she's so noisy.
how cute. But yeah, thank you so much for doing this interview. I'll send you the link and everything before I blast it off to everyone.
Okay, that's awesome. We'll share it too. Because we're leaving, we're going on tour tomorrow. We're playing in Cincinnati Thursday, and then Oscoda, Michigan on Friday, and then back down to Richmond, Virginia on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're excited about that.
Over there.
So, all right, it was really nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you. You have a wonderful rest of the night.
You too.
All right, bye.
Bye.